the studio, I have David Curtin with me, who will be joining me for the rest of the show. He is the leader of the Heritage Party, of course. Now, I started off with the demand for a ceasefire. We're seeing this across the West and, of course, the Arab world too. Mark seemed to suggest that that is an impossibility.
Well, I've called for a ceasefire as well. I think that's the humanitarian thing to do. But, you know, whether that's going to have any effect on the ground, I don't know. It's just something... I think, obviously, what happened on the 7th of October was horrific. It was a terrorist attack by Hamas. Nobody deserved to be killed, or anything that happened to the people there was not deserved in any way at all. But people are looking at what's happening now with Israel saying that they're targeting Hamas, but there is huge collateral damage, obviously, and depending on who you listen to, you don't know whether it's 4,000, 5,000, 7,000, 10,000 people have been killed, including thousands of children. And I think people are really very concerned about that.
I guess the counter to that is that not only did Hamas launch this deadly terror attack, this massacre on Israel, they have embedded their Hamas headquarters and their Hamas targets within the civilian population. So how are Israel supposed to eliminate Hamas, their enemy in this situation, without, unfortunately, and so sadly, civilian casualties? Yeah,
that's exactly right. They are using the people of Palestine, the people of Gaza, as a human shield. But then if you go in and you try to get, target, I don't know how many Hamas fighters there are, a few thousand, how many are you going to kill? I mean, how many is acceptable? 10,000, 100,000, 2.2 million?
Yeah.
Where do you stop?
Yeah, and I think the question is the practicality of what a ceasefire would mean. So if Israel, in some alternative universe, said, OK, we'll put down our weapons, well then, David, what happens next? Hamas certainly aren't going to stop in their plans. They're continuing to bombard Israel. Will they put down their weapons, or will Hamas actually regroup and plan their next terror attack?
Well, these
are the questions.
The call for a ceasefire is to both sides.
Yeah.
It's for Israel to stop bombing Gaza because of the collateral damage, including to thousands of children. It's also a call on Hamas to stop sending rockets into Israel and to release the hostages as well. At some point, somebody is going to have to lose face in order to bring this to an end. Otherwise, the alternative is, someone kills 1,000 people, then the other side kills 5,000, the other side kills more, and then it just escalates and escalates. And where does it end?
Yeah. Do you think that Israel is at risk of losing the PR war in terms of the global reaction now to their bombardment of Gaza? Wrongly or rightly, there is a huge swelling of support for the Palestinian people. Some of that, unfortunately, may be support for Hamas and their intentions, but a vast swathe of people are looking at the horror that they see in Gaza, looking at lives being lost, and are coming down firmly on the side of the Palestinian people.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in a war situation, this is a war situation. Both sides are going to put out PR and propaganda. This is part of the information war that is fought around the actual war. And yeah, there's already a huge support for Palestine all over the world, especially in, obviously, the Muslim world. But in the West, there are many, many people, many Muslims here, and they will naturally support the Palestinian people because they see them as fellow Muslims. That's understandable. So, yeah, the PR war is being fought, and I think you look at the difference between the number of people in the pro-Palestine marches, the pro-Israel marches in London and other places. There are far, far more people coming out in the pro-Palestine marches. You can see that in counting the numbers of people who are there. So that's...
Yes, the numbers certainly are there. Well, we'll be coming on to the pro-Palestinian protests because, of course, they were once again in London and across the UK yesterday. But you're watching and listening to GB News Sunday with me, Emily Carver. We've got lots more coming up. Yes, we'll be discussing the pro-Palestine protests. Has the Israel-Hamas conflict exposed deep divisions in this country? As you can see there, a statue being defaced. We'll debate that next. You're watching and listening to GB News, Britain's news channel.